Fox News, 55 others are confirmed dead in the wildfire disaster.
There were no alerts. There was no emergency sounds.
She lost everything with her Maui home burned down. Fox Weather's Max Gordon is there, says Lahaina is gone, just smoldering ruins.
The fire destroyed more than 1,000 buildings in Lahaina and damaged the town's famous banyan tree, the once peaceful island paradise, now described as if looking like a war zone.
There will be active recovery over the coming days and weeks of the bones of those who have been lost.
And Governor Josh Green says
it is going to take many years to rebuild Lahaina.
Thousands are in shelters. There's a hearing today in the third Trump criminal case over attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The special counsel is asking the judge for a protective order to limit what the former president can say about witnesses and evidence.
Special counsel Jack Smith saying it's to prevent the case from being tried in the media. Former president says the mere filing of the motion proves this case is all about election interference. Special counsel also asking for a January 2nd trial date. That's just 2 weeks before the Iowa caucuses.
Fox's Jack Callahan. Tim Scott has signed the required Republican Party pledge to back whoever the nominee is to qualify for the first debate later this month, joining Vivek Ramaswamy, Nikki Haley, Ron DeSantis, and Doug Burgum, who've all met all the fundraising and polling criteria as well. Former President Trump has said he will not sign that pledge. His ex-VP Mike Pence just told Fox Digital he will sign it. 5 Americans jailed in Iran have been moved to home detention as the U.S. readies a prisoner swap. And Fox's Kevin Corke reports.
The U.S. has also agreed to unfreeze nearly $6 billion of Iran's assets currently in South Korea, transferring the funds into an account into the Central Bank of Qatar.
Despite that, Secretary of State Antony Blinken says the U.S. is not easing nuclear sanctions on Iran. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align bloating relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align bloating relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
A Democratic senator who's been at odds with his party on some fiscal issues may join Senator Kyrsten Sinema leaving the party.
Republicans have invited him into the fold in the past. Now there's word West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin is seriously considering not becoming a Republican, but independent. The reason? During an interview on Thursday, Manchin said he would very seriously think about leaving the Democrat Party because he says the Democrat brand in Washington has become, quote, so bad. He says he's been thinking about it for quite some time, but hasn't yet made his mind up about it. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
There's also been speculation Senator Manchin could run for president, fueled by his recent trip to New Hampshire supporting the No Labels movement, which is considering a third-party challenge in 2024 if we have a Trump-Biden election rematch. China has detained a worker from its military-industrial group. That person's accused of spying for the U.S. It's sentencing day for someone you might have seen on a game show on TV.
Tim Bleefnick faces sentencing for the death of his estranged wife, Becky, whom he shot more than a dozen times in Quincy, Illinois in February. Bleefnick and some of his family members had appeared on Family Feud in 2020. He joked that he regretted marrying his wife during the episode. During the trial, Becky Bleefnick's sister testified about texts she had received from Becky saying she feared her husband and that she wanted to put it in writing in case anything ever happened to her. A jury took less than 4 hours to convict Tim Bleefnick of first-degree murder and home invasion in May. He faces a minimum of 45 years to life in prison for the murder because a firearm was used. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Later this hour, we'll get an inflation report. This one measures wholesale prices the day after we found out consumer prices rose slightly in July, month over month and year over year. On Wall Street, ahead of that, stock futures are mixed. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. This year's Illinois State Fair kicking off today. It runs through August 20th in Springfield. Performers including Alanis Morissette, REO Speedwagon, Alter Bridge, Tim McGraw, Maren Morris, and Nelly with Ashanti and J. Rule. Officials unveiled the treasured butter cow in the dairy building on the fairgrounds. Illinois Department of Public Health providing a variety of free health and safety services for school-age kids during this year's Illinois State Fair. It includes immunizations, physicals, and dental exams. The IDPH will also give away gun locks as part of its ongoing partnership with the Illinois State Police to promote firearm safety in the state. Salvation Army of Champaign County, alongside more than 25 local employers, hosting a community job fair and expo at the Red Shield Center next Wednesday. Those who fall on hard times often do as a result of employment challenges. The purpose of the fair to minimize the current labor shortage, help job seekers connect with local employers. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
All right, good Friday morning. It is the 11th. We have 22 days now, Greg Solier, till Illinois plays football.
Yes.
22 days and counting.
Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray.
Tailgating going on. Tim Onstad from GFT and Dixie Chopper will be doing a Gale Frericks
Do you know
trucking.
the date? Because I want to jot that
well,
down.
it's secret.
The brisket is off the chart.
This is a guy, a friend of ours, who runs GFT, Gale Frericks Trucking and Dixie Chopper, and was in a national brisket competition and got a perfect score. So we want to go taste that brisket.
That's right.
And I will
perhaps multiple taste runs through the line, right?
Well, you'll have to come. You ought to bring your family down. I'll get you football tickets if you want, Greg, and you ought to come down.
Let me look at the calendar.
And then
that'd
we
be
could
cool.
take you to the super secret place of the tailgate that I'm going to 22 days from now with the brisket. So anyway, secret handshakes.
I may not leave the brisket operation.
Well,
that's the problem.
that's a problem. That is it. They're going to say, "Excuse me, sir. Keep talking on the weather. I can't feed you anymore." Anyway, I got to bring Kent Brown because he's retired now.
For sure.
He's supposed to taste. Anyway, 22
He's going to
days.
be busy this weekend, probably hosting to St. Joe as their community festival.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
What are things looking like for that, Greg?
Well, I think the weekend is going to be acceptable. A little on the humid side to start. We've got that already this morning, and we're kind of realigning the upper air pattern around here. And while there's a little more frequency and a mention of rains, they're more north to south oriented and moving west to east versus kind of a west to east blob-like setup. Well, we have rain on the radar this morning. We should not be experiencing any of these multi-inch rain events like we've had in the past several go-arounds. But yeah, nonetheless, there's some showers and thunderstorms back to the west and northwest of us, and already some weather warnings up in effect, but the cloud tops are warming, and so the activity weakening, but out towards Canton, Peoria, around the Galesburg, Monmouth area, and some rains up through the northern end of the state, raiding through southern Wisconsin. They are in a world of hurt with ongoing dryness and drought there, but the drought monitor here showing vast improvement across the year, probably almost too much of a good thing. Out the door this morning, 68 Willard and Savoy, 62 over at Ogden St. Joe, and we'll keep an eye on some of this weakening shower thunderstorm activity to the west northwest of us here for the mid to late morning. A partly sunny sky, maybe a stray shower thunderstorm back in late this afternoon. Lots of dry hours, 85 down to 68 tonight. A muggy night with a shower thunderstorm in spots early and late. Any of that activity, if it still lingers early tomorrow morning, is gone. Mostly sunny. Kind of a sticky day at 86, but west northwesterly winds brings about a drier air mass, 85, and again another shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday into Monday. That system does bear watching with maybe some stronger weather over parts of the Midwest Sunday night into Monday. 78, yeah, that's a cooler Monday. Upper 70s for highs Tuesday and Wednesday. Near 80 next to Thursday and Friday. Comfortable weather ahead, temperature and humidity wise for next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, thank you, buddy. 7:09 off and running on this August 11. The Maui fires are all over the news. It's the story of our nation right now. It is unbelievable devastation in a little town called Lahaina. I've been there 4 different times, including right before the pandemic. We were in Maui before the pandemic. We walked around downtown. They're so historic. The banyan tree that apparently has been destroyed was the oldest in America.
Right.
And it's covered an entire city block. And anyway, it's just awful stuff in Maui.
I saw smoke and I saw that it was dark. So I was like, okay, quickly, let's move. Let's pack. There were no alerts. There was no emergency sounds.
This is going to take not just months, this is going to be years. I mean, there's 1,700 structures at least that have been just completely decimated. And so that's going to take a huge effort, both nationally and locally here in Hawaii.
It's just a heartbreaking situation for so many residents here. People not knowing the fate of their family members, their loved ones. Communication systems are down on the west side of the island. 911 isn't operable. Cell service isn't possible. Right now, we're standing at a roadblock on the road to Lahaina. This is one of the hardest hit areas. Right now, residents aren't being let in, and they won't be let in for the foreseeable future. And evacuations are still ongoing. People being bussed out of the fire zone. This as the death toll from these fires continues to rise.
Yeah, it's at 55. They think 1,000 people are missing. It is unbelievable. You have a lot of famous people on Maui. I don't see the following names near Lahaina, but yet Clint Eastwood has a home out there. Oprah Winfrey, Steven Tyler, Jeff Bezos from Amazon. There's a lot of famous people. I think they're near Wailea. Maui is a pretty good sized island, and there's just some gorgeous side on the other side. Usually a ship can tender into Lahaina itself, the small little town of about 1,700 folks. But you can go to Wailea on the other side. There's PGA Golf on the other side of the island. Mm-hmm. It's a gorgeous place. There's a hotel called the Grand Wailea that you just have to walk through, and you just can't believe how fancy it is. Anyway, so in Lahaina, 1,000 people missing. Now, keep in mind, the cell towers melted. They've collapsed. There's no cell. There's no way to communicate. There's no way to contact anybody. All 1,000 could be alive. They could all be dead. We don't know. And they've just scattered, and people were running to the ocean to try and get away from the heat. It is beyond comprehension what these folks went through. And as far as no warning signs, I mean, you know there's wildfires, and you know that's pretty windy. How do you warn for that?
Well, and the space is limited on where you go.
Well, there's one or two roads in and out, right? I mean, so you
as far as the evacuation plan,
there's not many options.
I've seen some reports of I didn't get a text, we didn't get any notification. Now the governor was saying we need 2,000 rooms for people. So I don't know whether then the tourists get bumped out of their hotel rooms.
They're out of everybody's out of Lahaina. Okay. Of course. I mean, it's completely burned down. The thing's like a war zone. If you look at before and after picture, it is like there's the town, there's not the town. I mean, I think from my understanding, and I saw a picture last night, it's gone.
Right.
It's a war zone.
It's just rubble.
It's just rubble. It is just very difficult to comprehend, and I'm so sad about it because it just, there's before and after.
Oh, man. It's like gray
it's
versus
all gray ashes.
Flush, and
you see that big thing over here? That's the banyan tree.
Okay,
banyan tree, ginormous, and it's just I don't know if it's going to survive or any part of it will survive. But anyway, our prayers are with the people dealing with this, and it's obviously there was tourism there, and they were evacuated. People, guess Southwest Airlines have been sending airplanes in, try and help people get out.
Okay,
they've recently started flying to Hawaii, so. Anyway, 7:13. We'll continue to track it and follow it and give you the news as we get it. Check your sports headlines, ESPN 93.5.
Well, Matthew Liberatore did well, 7 strikeouts. 5-2 was the final.
Game of his life. He's never pitched that well. If he pitches like that, he will be an all-star. He was against one of the best teams in baseball, and he was phenomenal.
I happened to hear him talking ahead of the game about the torque and the different velocity and the things that they've been working on with him. I think that's working. Let's get your Redbird recap.
Here's what happened. He got through the first inning, and then he looked like a different human being. It was like, give me the ball. You can't hit me. It was unbelievable body language. You're not hitting me.
Okay.
He really shut down the Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay's good now.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals are in Kansas City, where Adam Wainwright will face the Royals tonight at 7:10. But last night, the Cardinals got an unbelievable start from Matthew Liberatore. He went 8 innings, picked up the victory against the team that drafted him and traded him to the Cardinals. 5-2 was the final.
He picked up his second victory, and he set career highs with strikeouts. He had 7, innings pitched with 8, really in command throughout. Started landing the curveball, showed a good slider, changeup, fastball had a little extra zip to it. So Liberatore did great. Cardinals got home runs from Edman and from Andrew Kisner, and a really pretty special play from Nolan Arenado, scoring from first base on a single.
That was a hit by Alec Burleson. A 5-2 victory last night. Now Adam Wainwright goes tonight.
I'm looking forward to watching Adam pitch again. You know, he's still bound and determined to get things right. We're pulling for Adam.
The Cardinals and the Royals, game one of a brief 2-game series, on the air at 6:15 tonight. Ricky has the lineups at 7. I'll bring you the first pitch at 7:10.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum is the official home of Cardinals history. For those who want to be a part of one of the sport's greatest collections in the world, museum membership is the way to go. Cardinals Museum membership provides unlimited admission for 1 year, exclusive Hall of Fame bobbleheads, discounts, ticket offers, and more, in addition to supporting exhibit design and artifact restoration. There are a variety of membership levels, including our ultimate level of membership. For more info and to join, go to cardinals.com/membership.
The Cubs take on the Toronto Blue Jays with a 6:07 start over on US 105.9. Milwaukee is in Chicago to take on the White Sox around 7 o'clock. Well, we've got some preseason NFL action. That feels good to have, football on the horizon. We've got so many practices and training camps, everything's going on. Houston over Texas 20-9 yesterday. Seattle over Minnesota 24-23. Packers and Cincinnati Bengals in action at 6 o'clock tonight. I didn't see the Saints or the Bears on the agenda for this evening, but, it's preseason or whatever.
You don't generally see many of the starters. You just kind of,
Right. So, betting in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been hearing any
some of the people involved in both Iowa State and Iowa, right?
Yeah, the
both.
Cyclones had 4 that were tampering with records, I guess. And this is NCAA football and basketball. But evidently there's like a pseudonym to place their bets and things like that.
I thought it was more widespread than that, but maybe not.
But right now that's where we're at. But I'm sure a lot of people are nervous about this.
Here's what the kids need to understand is they can now track your cell phone
to
where the bets are going from.
It doesn't matter what name you're using.
They
got you.
You got your cell phone that's signed to your name, and you're from the athletic facility, and you placed a bet. So if you're an athlete, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's on. And I think there's some rumbling going on in Danville with the new casino over there, and some of the people that have the machines.
That's right.
There's a casino in Danville.
The Golden Nugget.
If you missed that. And so if you have a bar with a machine that's cash cow, that money's going down because that casino's sucking it all in.
That's right.
So if you own one of those, and I knew of a bar restaurant, 4 of them. The total, now the state gets a bunch now, but the total take into the bank account of the owner of 4 places in Champaign-Urbana was $34,000 cash a month. Just in the machines. So it could be significant. So if you have one of those, let's say $8,000 a month. It's hard to replace $8,000 a month.
Right.
Anyway, it's I guess people must have been thinking, how's that going to affect my business? But the bottom line is millions of dollars are being spent at the casino in Danville. And sadly, gambling sometimes done by the people that probably shouldn't be doing it. Weather now brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you their programming is set for the fall. If you'd like to look at September through the end of the year and get in on some great activities and events, all you need to do is go to urbanaparks.org.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. A couple of patches of fog around, and, there's more rain on the radar sweep this morning. Out over the northwestern and western reaches the state, but much smaller in scale. The first in a series of fast-moving systems about every 36 hours. It'll generate some cooling ahead and some lowering of humidity values over the back end of the weekend, and particularly into the first half of next week. It'll be a nice feel, but a closer, muggier feel both today, tonight, and tomorrow, up to 85. The rain chance later this morning and this afternoon, at about 30% most of the action from Champaign on northward, if that. A shower thunderstorm chance early and late night tonight, slightly better odds. A muggy low down to 68. Tomorrow could be a shower threat early in the day, mostly sunny, humid with a high to about 86. Increasing clouds, 85. A shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday into Monday with a high near 78 there. Mid to upper 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. Lower 80s next Thursday and Friday. A very comfortable weather pattern due in for next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
A tradition of excellence over 150 years in the making. At Busey Bank, we're committed to building relationships that span generations. Wherever your journey in life leads you, we are with you along the way, creating a legacy for you and your family. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Spectrum Brands, parent company of Remington, Black & Decker, and George Foreman Products, is reporting better than expected earnings, though it says sales declined 10% in the period, partly because of cool and rainy weather that impacted its products used outdoors. Cruise and Waymo have received approval from the California Public Utilities Commission to expand self-driving vehicles in San Francisco. It will also be able to charge for rides at all times. Before the expansion can happen, the companies will need to address concerns from city officials, law enforcement, and first responders. UBS is ending the support the Swiss government provided for it to absorb troubled bank Credit Suisse. It's concluded the support is no longer needed. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Kudlow on Fox Business is now on the go for podcast fans. Download the Kudlow Show podcast every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com. Kudlow covers the latest headlines and business trends with an emphasis on the financial impact facing households and businesses across the country. Listen to interviews with key business newsmakers. The Kudlow podcast will be available on the go after the show every weekday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
You spend half of your life indoors. That's half of your life underneath your roof. Who do you trust to keep you safe and dry underneath it? The name to remember is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors understands the harsh weather conditions that your roof endures because they're a family and locally owned business. From your community, for your community, the doctors who make the house calls, Roof Doctors, at roofdoctors.com or phone 328-7529. Rest easy under a roof that's been treated by Roof Doctors.
Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company is looking for drivers with their CDL and great driving record to join their team. What a terrific company, invested in so many charities in our community and giving their staff opportunities for growth, health and dental insurance, paid time off for vacations, holidays, and family leave. This is the type of environment you've been looking for, drivers. Of course, Pepsi is an equal opportunity employer as they search for a good representative of the company to help with deliveries. Learn more online at PepsiColaCU.com.
And then there's this tomorrow. They could use your help.
Hi, I'm Steve with Restoration Urban Ministries, and we have a desperate need. We have a building that's coming down, and we have to put up another one. But we have you, and we have God on our side. So August the 12th, we are going to have at Hessel Park in Champaign, family, food, and fun. We're going to have 5 to 10 different church bands playing. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have testimonies. We're going to have food. We're going to have sausages and barbecue and corn on the cob, all kinds of summertime treats. And we're going to have a lot of fun going on. We have different games for the kids. So we're counting on you to come and join us and participate and help us raise money for a new building in Jesus' name. You can come and visit us at www.restorationurbanministries.org. Family, food, and fun at Hessel Park, August the 12th. We'll see you there.
I think my favorite park is Hessel Park. I determined that yesterday. My favorite park in Champaign-Urbana is Hessel. So there you go.
Well, for events, it's tricky on the parking.
Sure.
So,
yep.
But, people navigate that.
I mean, West Side Park's tricky on the parking, right? So
there's a lot of parks that are tricky on the parking.
Hessel, my favorite. Anyway, so that's tomorrow if you want to help Restoration.
And they've got pickleball courts there,
too. They do?
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
Awesome.
Staying up to date.
Mm-hmm.
That's Hessel Park tomorrow to benefit Restoration Urban Ministries, noon to 5 in Champaign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a new quarterback. By the way, we have Brother Johnny and Ed Martin. Normally our Wednesday segment has been bumped this week till Friday. That's coming up. Stand by. Are Catholics being targeted by the Department of Justice?
What?
Just Google Department of Justice and Catholics. Apparently there's a little terrorism going on. Which you're going, excuse me? It just sounds as ridiculous as it might be. So stand by. Luke Altmaier could very well be your starting quarterback. And if I were coaching Luke Altmaier and speaking, I'd say sound like this.
It's going well. Obviously a training camp in a new place. Spent 2 in a previous university, and it's been fun. It's a time of a growth in so many areas, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And I've seen relationships amongst my team. Those relationships grow so much, and over a course of about a week. So it's been a lot of fun.
What's been different now compared to the spring when you first got here?
Yeah, there's more comfortability, obviously. Trying to learn the system through 15 practices in the spring was good. I found a lot of growth in that, but being able to build off of that and propel myself forward has been something I've seen in the past few practices.
People use the term quarterback competition. Does it feel like a competition to you?
I go out and try to do my best every single day, and I let other people perceive that and handle that because I don't have any control over it. So, I've been in a lot of competitions before in my life. Last year was, a very thick one too. So it's something I'm used to, and I've learned just to be able to control what I can control.
Luke, is your mindset different as a starter or as a backup? Does it matter one way or the other for you or not?
No, I don't think so.
Is your mindset different from being a starter or backup? I don't think so. It's just what a great answer as a teammate.
I try to attack each and every day with excellence, no matter if I'm, the best player of the country or, dead last. It's kind of a mentality thing, how I carry myself each day. I spent 2 years as a backup. Last year had a, more of a leadership role, but still was kind of that, one snap away from being in control of a team. So, I always stay ready, whether it's in the film room or, taking advantage of every single rep in practice. That's never going to change about me.
Boy, he sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's our quarterback because he's got some maturity I love. He's older. Older's better.
Yeah.
When you're 18 and when you're 20, 21, 22, it's just more.
Yeah. The experience.
Yeah. Well, this exponential growth from 18 to 21. We all remember what we were like out of high school. And then by the time you're 20, 21, you figure stuff out.
Absolutely.
And so this kid sounds like he really has figured it out. And he's totally the favorite. I think Coach wants a competition. That's fine. But I think he came from Ole Miss. Hasn't had a ton of snaps in live play. But, Tommy DeVito.
That's right.
He was really good for us last year. So, All right. We'll break. We'll come back. We will talk to Brother Johnny Ed Martin. Did you DOJ Catholics? And
I did.
See all that stuff coming up?
I do.
Yeah. Well, I guess evil Catholics now, the target.
What's up with that?
Well, let's talk. Ed is, how can I say this? Veins in the neck about this one?
Yeah.
So you'll hear Ed talking about it, and there's some absolute proof it's happening because you're a right-winger, you're a terrorist. I mean, that kind of stuff. And you're going, wait a minute, man.
So, and if you have a topic, 217-359-2255 on the Tapman's Towing phone line. We always love to hear from our listeners on some of this stuff too.
Yep, you're welcome to comment. Ed and Johnny coming up Friday. We'll be right back. PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Whether your regular beauty counter has disappeared or you want a beauty refresh, then it's time to visit Merle Norman. Beautiful changes happen every day at Merle Norman. Whether you have a special event coming up or you're just in the mood for something new, you can depend on Merle Norman Cosmetics to satisfy all your beauty needs. From advanced skincare solutions to the latest looks and color, we're locally owned and ready to help you with expert guidance and award-winning products. No wonder we've been the go-to brand for millions of women since 1931. Visit us today at 706 West Market View Drive over by Subway.
Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. 55 confirmed dead. That number expected to rise 1,000 more, considered unaccounted for this morning. Fox Weather's Max Gordon on the ground in Maui.
Fires continue to burn throughout the island of Maui. Several fires are burning right now, all of them uncontained right now, according to fire officials. It's still unclear why these fires started, but the fire on the west side of Maui, the one that burned through the town of Lahaina, that has been the most destructive.
Could West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin shed the Democratic label?
I haven't made any decisions whatsoever on any of my political direction. I want to make sure that my voice is truly an independent voice.
Manchin talking to West Virginia Metro News. He faces a battle for his Senate seat against West Virginia Republican Governor Jim Justice. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. Champaign Park District once again playing host to one of the community's most popular summer events to close out the season. Champaign Urbana Days brings live entertainment, tasty food, family activities, and more to Douglas Park August 11th and 12th. The event gets its start tonight from 5 to 8. Well, due to the generosity and support of all the golf outing sponsors, donors, golfers, volunteers, and the University of Illinois golf course staff, over $17,000 raised for Special Olympics Illinois region. The funds raised supporting the free year-round sports trainings and competitions, as well as young athletes. Experience Champaign-Urbana launched Accessible CU, a new section on their website that helps users find local businesses that meet their accessibility needs, outlining the physical, sensory, cognitive, and accommodation-ready characteristics of local businesses. That's what's happening thanks to the generous people. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Tabbins Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tabbinstowing.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the next weather system, it'll be a parade of features in on an increasing west-northwest flow up aloft, generating a couple of showers and thunderstorms to the northwest and west of us. One or two may catch us as the day wears on today and in through this evening. We'll do it again over the back end of the weekend, early next week, with another feature to in late next week as well. All the while, kind of a downward trend on temperatures, a bit below average, anticipated around here for next week, but a little more humidity in the air for the short term of the next couple of days. Up to 85, and again, a shower thunderstorm risk late this morning and into this afternoon. That'll linger both early and late night tonight. Muggy lows down to about 68. Tomorrow, an isolated shower chance early, mostly sunny in the morning and humid afternoon at 86. Another shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday, the high up to 85. Could be a stray shower, but a cooler 78-degree reading on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, comfortable with highs near 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solye.
A special Friday edition. Ed Martin, brother Johnny. Johnny's down in New Orleans, Louisiana. Johnny?
Hey, Stevie J. Good morning.
Ed Martin, President of Legal Forum, Eagle Defense Fund. The great Phyllis Schlafly, who defeated the Equal Rights Amendment single-handedly as a housewife. His last hire was this man, Ed Martin, best-selling author, attorney, and just all-around good guy. Ed, how are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Good to be with you. Diane just called, and I said to her, the phone rang, and I saw the number, and I thought, it's Friday. What are those guys doing calling today? And I remembered we related. So there you go. I thought maybe somebody needed bail. I mean, you know how it happens. You needed bail.
But Eddie, are you all right? Because you were out in L.A. for too long, man. You okay?
I was able to get out with my sanity intact. I was staying about 5 miles from the Reagan Library, so every couple of days, I'm not kidding, I went up there to pick up my niece, and I went by the, he's buried there. So I went by and I said a prayer to Ronald Reagan, and so if he's up there, if he could intervene on Johnny's behalf, we really appreciate it. So anyway, it was good.
All right, we begin with this. Does this story matter?
Republicans have invited him into the fold in the past. Now there's word West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin is seriously considering not becoming a Republican, but independent. The reason? During an interview on Thursday, Manchin said he would very seriously think about leaving the Democrat Party because he says the Democrat brand in Washington has become, quote, so bad. He says he's been thinking about it for quite some time, but hasn't yet made his mind up about it. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
All right, so he's going to lose his Senate seat anyway to Jim Justice, the sitting governor in West Virginia, because it's a really red state, and he's a Democrat, and he's been loved and liked and everything else. Ed, does this matter? Because he'll still probably caucus as a Democrat.
Yeah, no. This is all a guy trying to figure out how to land. Remember, and my theme for today's episode will be corruption. And when I mean corruption, I mean the rupturing of the normal values that we have as Americans. Manchin's got a daughter, I think, who's a big pharma executive who's been made tens of millions of dollars for a company. He's got his own interest in coal and things. I mean, he's trying to figure. It's a business model. He's trying to figure out how to land afterwards. Whether it's run for president as an independent or do something so that somebody like the next Republican president says, "Hey, why don't we do this?" And ultimately, so that he can spend the next 20 years of his life milking the system like he did. So it doesn't matter in terms of practicalities. It's just showmanship, and the media loves to play along with him. They love to do this and pretend that there's real thought and real deep consideration on stuff that's pure money and pure corruption.
But Eddie, I think it's bigger than that because it rocks that age-old, I've always voted Democrat crowd. And Tulsi Gabbard did it already. Joe'd be even more of a shake-up, which is like, man, maybe Joe's right. I'm just talking about for voters, Steve. I'm not even talking about him running. And then if he did run as an independent, if it wasn't for Ralph Nader, who got 2%, Gore would have won. And so that's the kind of...
But I see what you're saying, Johnny, but I have to tell you, if he does really go independent, I guarantee you he will badmouth Trump and say, I would never vote for that guy, and talk about the presidential race. So I actually think it's a little bit of the opposite. He's going to try to say, yeah, of course we hate the Democrats, but you can't vote for Trump. And he's not going to run for president. That's not a real thing, guys. I mean, that is not the Green people. It's much more important to encourage Cornel West to end his long career as a gadfly candidate. He could get 1 or 2% like Jill Stein. There's no way this stuff. Look, Jay Nixon, the moronic Missouri governor, is out there talking about no labels and independent candidates. I mean, these are fool's errands, and they're silly. So, but my bigger problem is Joe Manchin's going to now say he's independent after he voted to transform the economy with all this green junk and hand money away. And let me say something else, Johnny. You're supposed to stay disciplined. They don't care who says what. They're going to steal the next election anyway. And the reason they're going to be able to steal it is because Joe Manchin voted for a hundreds of billions of dollars giveaway that is funding this green jobs program for leftist lunatics. So, that's all good. It'll all be nice optics. And we'll be sitting here saying, how'd they pull that off? Pennsylvania. I haven't met a person in Pennsylvania that voted for Biden, but they still won. How'd that happen?
Yeah, no, I hear you. You got that right. But the only thing I disagree with what you just said is I think Manchin hurts the Democratic candidate more than he hurts Trump if he would run. And even to what extent might not even matter. It might be a tie. But I think Trump's voter, there's not a lot of Trump voters going to switch to Manchin. But there's a lot of Democratic voters that would go to the Manchin. Because the whole point at this time, Stevie J, is not so much Trump's great. Think what you want. We had a pretty good thing going when he was president. The thing you can't do, unless you want the guys in the girls' locker room, is vote Democrat. And it doesn't matter what the Democrats saying because they will vote in the block, no matter what they tell you. You can't vote for them. Vote for Manchin. Vote for Tulsi. Anybody but a Democrat. You can't do it. They won't. They can't help themselves. They're a block voting group.
All right. So if we've lost things to worry about, Vivek Ramaswamy delivered this disturbing statistic.
60% of young Americans now say that they would sooner give up their right to vote than to give up their access to TikTok. This is a crisis. Young people do not value a country they're just passively inheriting. We value a country that we have a stake in creating, in building, in knowing something about.
Johnny, 60% would give up their right to vote if they had to give up TikTok. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if that's not a serious.
Take the trade.
Yeah, right. No, I don't think that's a serious poll. That's a hypothetical. In reality, maybe. I don't know. I like Vivek, the comment, they're passively inheriting, Eddie. That's an interesting term. And I think Vivek is making some waves, and people like him, and we need a smart guy after Joe. We've got Joe. Now we need a smart guy.
Well,
I do say, let me say one thing very briefly. I agree with that. Passively inheriting in a culture that is brainwashing them to hate America is the problem. We used to brainwash our kids. We called it education, into believing America's greatness, whatever it was, our imperfections. Just like every dad teaches their kids that marriage and the mom and dad are great people. We all have sins and failures. So we're brainwashing our kids to hate America, and instead of loving America, and that is a problem. I agree with that. And by the way, it does like there though. Young people never vote. They trade away their right to vote for a good meal or a good beer, a cold beer on a Friday night. They don't vote. And then this is one of the tricks that they do. Oh, let's go around and chase the young people. It's nonsense. Go get the 30 to 50-year-olds to vote for you because they can't buy bacon without taking a mortgage. And you got a game plan.
Yeah. Brother Johnny and Ed Martin, Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5. Ed Martin, is the Department of Justice targeting Catholics?
Yeah, I mean, look, the great thing, I was texting you guys about Catholics. We were talking about great Coach Ditka, one of the more prominent Catholics in the country, I would say, and especially for regular people. Look, what's great about this story is we now see the corruption plainly. Director Ray came before Congress. They said to him, "You got this memo from the Richmond field office where they target conservative Catholics." They say it. What do you say there, Director Ray? Oh, that was crazy. When I saw that, I pulled that back. That was just one office where those guys, he probably, one of the guys got an MBA and thought he was being clever. Not us. Now it turns out the documents show it's at least 4 other field offices. We'll find out it was the whole FBI. And here's the beauty of it. I mean, this is wonderful. We see the machinery open, the hood's up. And what they're doing is targeting conservative Catholics to call them white nationalists, to then say, you know what? We had a riot on January 6th. If we call it an insurrection, we can target everybody and say they're insurrectionists. Now if we say traditional Catholics, we got a memo, they're white extremists, let's get them. The only wrinkle on this is I guarantee there's a memo that says if you go to one of those Bible-thumping evangelical churches, you're a white nationalist too. They're just targeting Americans. This is deep, deep rot. And the fact that Director Ray looked at these guys, his answer now is, I couldn't tell you everything about what we were doing because there's ongoing things, investigations. This is just lying. It's just corruption. And the conduct is evil. I don't like to say people are evil too easily. I'm not God. But the conduct is truly evil. Evil, evil hate. And it can't be called anything less.
Yeah, I got to say, Eddie, I was thinking about just the corruption. You talk about CIA, FBI, etc. And Hollywood's onto it. They may not be meaning it, but every movie you see, Stevie, the good CIA or the good FBI guy always gets killed by the bad CIA guys or the bad FBI guys. Yeah. It's always our own guys all the time in every movie. It's always a compartment in this corrupt system that turns on itself. And we're seeing that a lot and a lot more overtly. But, Eddie, what I think's a little different than ever, when they get caught, nobody really bats an eye, and they double down and scream at you, call you that white extremist or insurgent, and go on. There's no apologies. Right. Well, how did you catch him? Oh, he didn't. The guy that caught him is actually dead, and we're moving on.
Yeah. And real quick, Stevie J. This is Nancy Pelosi did this in a video a few years ago. She said it's a wraparound smear. You say something out loud, then the media covers it, and then you get to say, well, it's been in the news, and this is the wraparound. They're not unhappy this is in the news. They're happy because the country is saying, oh yeah, maybe those traditional Catholics, I mean, we heard about it. They must be. And one other thing, Tom Clancy in his grave is spinning over and over. When he wrote the books at the beginning of his great career, every one of the characters in the FBI, the heroes, were Catholic guys. He wrote about Fordham University and Boston College. Jack Ryan went to Boston College. Because what? Catholic guys in that era were real, serious, virtuous people. Now they're targeted. They're targeted by the FBI, which is full of elite, effete, feminized pieces of garbage. And, so Tom Clancy's up there going, hey, man, I thought the FBI used to be something. Shut it down, gut it. But you know what? Right now, as you say, Johnny, they're laughing all the way to the bank. They're talking about FBI targeting those extremists, white supremacists. It's amazing.
Well, Steve, didn't you say Vivek said he's gutting the FBI?
Yep. No, it's one of his platform things. Yep. Well,
that's interesting.
I mean, we have so many issues here in America and so many negative things, in my opinion, in the last 3 years. It's shocking. But the worst thing, in my opinion, and there's a lot of worse things, was Afghanistan.
I have never had any personal correspondence, nor has my son been honored or his name spoken by this commander-in-chief or his administration on what I feel is because of their failures and poor planning to exit our troops from Afghanistan. Well, and this is just one of the heartbreaking stories from the Gold Star families that spoke before this committee earlier this week. And Eddie, it was, my gosh, could you have done a worse job? And all the people that they left and all the people that helped us in Afghanistan and the generations that are gone because they were murdered, it is horrible. It started the whole F Joe Biden to let's go Brandon. All of that came from this. And to me, it's the worst thing Joe Biden has done, Ed.
Well, I agree with you in the sense that we don't expect our chief executive to run all the departments and even not making a joke about Biden, not even understand everything. It's a CEO job, but we do expect him to be the commander in chief and to have a certain role, as you point out. And that betrayal is profound. The betrayal is significant. And it's devastating. I just did a commentary. I do these radio commentaries that run all across the country each day. And I was recording September, and it's an anniversary of that, of the Afghanistan. One of the aspects of it, we left behind billions of dollars of equipment, which solidified the regime that's there, that's nasty, right? So everything about it was a failure. And again, to your point, it's one of the worst things that's happened to a commander-in-chief, and yet, do you ever hear about it from the media? No. I mean, they move on and they talk about Donald Trump's trial date. I mean, it's a stunning betrayal of us that we don't have a serious media that's covering it. And historians, by the way, there's a guy, Beschloss, who's on Morning Joe. He's supposed to be a presidential historian. He's like a clown. I mean, he's like a clown out of the Middle Ages, and he's supposed to be a historian, presidential historian, and he talks about Trump and Biden together and all this stuff and doesn't talk about these failures. It's just wild. It's wild.
Well, Steve, you might be right too, as far as the worst, but only because we don't know the carnage even going on today that resulted from the Taliban being unleashed on Afghanistan, and we won't know. Yeah. But I think my vote goes, Eddie, to the Ukraine. With Donald Trump, for example, there wouldn't be a Ukraine war. That's 40 million people. We do see the carnage because they'll show that, and they've taken kind of this heroic approach after setting everything up to where the war happened. And that is an absolute international disaster. It didn't have to happen. And that story, again, it's not over either, and it's ongoing. So I don't know. And you could probably have Eddie, you could probably add another worse thing. but it's not what we want. This isn't what we want.
It makes one really ponder to see everything and to really feel the presence of evil. I've never felt it like we're feeling it today. What's up? What's happening to America, Ed? And is there still hope with divine intervention? Otherwise, it doesn't feel like this thing's going to last forever, like we hoped.
Yeah. No, listen. I mean, the three of us love to do this, and I think the listeners enjoy it. But this is the media and our attention driving us crazy on purpose. I mean, there's a cottage industry that wants us to be in crisis, right? Whether it's pharmaceutical companies that want us to be depressed, or news agencies news entities that want us to run to check on the newest, the Maui tragedy or whatever, right? But everybody knows in every day there's moments, just spectacular moments of grace that you have with your family, by yourself, God. And America allows that more than anywhere. Now the guardrails seem to be shaky, right? I mean, they killed the presidential candidate in Ecuador 2 nights ago. The challenger. At least they're only putting our guy up for a trial, right? I mean, it's a degree better. But I mean, I think what we have to do is I have a friend of mine, Mark Schneider. You should have him on the show. He's a nuclear sub guy, and he ran nuclear subs, and now he's a kind of an advocate for nuclear energy, but he works in the business. He works for a power plant or something. And I was texting him last night, and he said, I just don't go on Twitter much anymore because I don't want to feel that energy boost. It doesn't help me. I think we just have to start to figure that out. You kind of figure out what you can get. And Johnny's running around the country trying to get kids to Bible study. Half the kids in Bible study, I went to Bible study, are there to try to meet a girl or a guy. I love it, man. That's why I go. I mean, but here's the point. Getting them to places where they're having those interactions are wonderful, right? In the context of the scripture. So we just got to keep creating those opportunities. And America's still the best place in the world for it, right? It's still the best place. You can be taxed to the hilt, and you can still make your dream come true. People watch Shark Tank like it's Lawrence Welk. We used to watch Lawrence Welk when I was a kid, religiously. My grandpa, my dad, and mom, and me. And now we want my grandparents, myself, my grandparents. I mean, my parents, myself, and my kids watch Shark Tank. So it's great. That's America.
Well, Stevie, you say, what about divine intervention? You can count on it. God is in control. And Jesus even said, I'll be back before you destroy yourselves. Now, we could do a lot of damage maybe before. And, Eddie, I think if Jesus has a warning for us, it might be just an alert. Don't make me come back down here.
Don't make me turn this car around.
When that happens, you're going to see kind of that old-fashioned form of justice. But I think you just have to keep that belief and don't get sucked into saying, well, if they're doing it, I'm doing it. Because that's the easiest thing to do. And then we're all bad. So.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting, and it'll be fascinating to watch all this unfold. But I mean, to tell you what, I wouldn't put a nickel on who's going to be the two candidates for president next September. I mean, I really think the dynamic is so unprecedented. We have no idea, Ed. I don't know what's going to happen.
I'll give you 2 things on that. One is I'll take any bet. It'll be Biden and Trump, so that's no problem. But the second one is next week when we're back on a normal day, I'll be in Missouri at a meeting that Mike Lindell is convening. And he has been quietly working for the better part of 8 months at building out county-level folks who care about making sure the next election is really transparent. So I'll have a report from Springfield, Missouri next week on that, guys. I'll be right at the beginning of the meeting, but I'm interested because Mike Lindell, if anything, has shown that he knows how to try stuff and make it work, and and he's doing something a little different than what people were talking about before. So that'll be fun to report on.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you, now the top 3 Americans in my book right now, Eddie Martin, Donald Trump, and Pillow Man, Mike Lindell. If you want to talk about redirecting an addiction into a positive channel, this guy's relentless. Yeah. I'm telling you what, it's amazing. I've said it before. If we had 100 of those guys, we would be okay. But I'll go back to Trump, Biden. If that does happen, and I'm kind of with Steve on it, Eddie, I don't know. I think Trump will win it, and it's going to be raucous.
Yeah,
is the word.
It's going to be turbulent. No question. Hold on, Ed Martin, brother Johnny. Appreciate both of you. We will get you back on Wednesday at the normal time next week. Ed, Johnny, thank you both very much. And you have your Prayer with America every Friday. I know, Ed. That's awesome. That's really
10 o'clock Central Time. If they get in touch with you or want to email me, ed@phyllisschlafly.com, I'll send them the information. Yeah, we got a great group that
hang on
25 minutes
Ed,
of prayer.
Tell me when are you going to be? Did you say St. Louis? Is that where that is?
Oh, we got an event in St. Louis in September 15th, 16th, and 17th. Eagle Council, yeah. So
17th.
September.
But that's
Yep,
not
September.
Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell's coming up next week.
No, Mike Lindell's next week. Yeah.
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Well, listen, boys, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you both, as always.
Take care, guys.
Thank you. Tapman's Towing phone line with Ed Martin, Brother Johnny, ESPN 93.5, 5 before 8 o'clock. You've changed thousands of diapers, played hours of peekaboo and duck duck goose because you do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow will help make it easy and affordable to help you protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow in Champaign-Urbana today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It feels good to support the people who support our community. And over the years, you'd be hard-pressed to find a company and a family more dedicated to Champaign-Urbana than Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling. The Comet family loves getting behind important causes like the Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club that helps kids facing challenges. Pepsi-Cola Champaign-Urbana Bottling stands just as tall when fellow team members like Mary faces challenges. Mary, the very heart and soul of the operation, receives some unmatched support and love from her fellow co-workers when she faced some rather severe health challenges. Mary is better now, and so is the team. Looking for a new place to work? Applications are being accepted for commercial drivers. Have you got a CDL? Make it happen at PepsiColaCU.com. Look under the More header. Click on Employment Opportunities. PepsiColaCU.com. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Check your weather, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, sports physicals, school physicals, find a location near you and get it done. Carl.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. A couple of patches of fog around, and, well, there's more rain on the radar sweep this morning. Out over the northwestern and western reaches the state, but much smaller in scale. The first in a series of fast-moving systems about every 36 hours. It'll generate some cooling ahead and some lowering of humidity values over the back end of the weekend, and particularly into the first half of next week. It'll be a nice feel, but a closer, muggier feel both today, tonight, and tomorrow, up to 85. The rain chance later this morning and this afternoon, and about 30% most of the action from Champaign on northward, if that. A shower thunderstorm chance early and late night tonight, slightly better odds. A muggy low down to 68. Tomorrow could be a shower threat early in the day, mostly sunny, humid with a high to about 86. Increasing clouds, 85. A shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday into Monday with a high near 78 there. Mid to upper 70s Tuesday and Wednesday, lower 80s next Thursday and Friday. A very comfortable weather pattern due in for next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie Jay Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
We just celebrate police because they ought to be celebrated, folks. Difference between anarchy and peace. We have Officer Chloe Folks. She is our Law Enforcement Official of the Month. She's at the Urbana Police Department. How do you stay positive when you see the bad guys all the time?
My coworkers, the family, the camaraderie we have, we're all there for each other. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets home safely at the end of the night or the day. It's really just the family atmosphere that keeps me going.
So if you see something not so good, you're able to say, shut it off?
Yeah, you got to have some kind of emotional detachment and separate work from home. It's hard sometimes. We have through EAP and different work things that we can have help us kind of through that. But like I said, it's really my coworkers that get me through it. And, we maintain a positive attitude just so we can help each other get home at the end of the day. And sometimes we face hard things, but we get through it.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
Houses, face painting, live music, tailgating, and more. Get a family 4-pack of tickets for only $49 as the Illini take on Toledo on Saturday, September 2nd. Get your tickets at fightingillini.com.
Yep, not long, 22 days.
And actually, Memorial Stadium on Saturday night showing Super Mario Brothers tomorrow evening.
There you go. Is that free?
On the Jumbotron.
Free?
Totally free.
Wow. What time?
7 o'clock.
Okay.
Autographs from 5:30 to 6:30 with some of the football
that's really
players.
cool.
I know.
8 o'clock. We'll be right back. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
5th year, more victims are in Hawaii's charred wildfire ruins. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 1,000 people still unaccounted for. 55 are confirmed dead.
It does appear like a bomb and fire went off.
Governor Josh Green says Lahaina's gone. The town burnt down, over 1,000 houses and buildings destroyed.
All of those buildings virtually are going to have to be rebuilt. It will be a new Lahaina that Maui builds.
Amanda Cassidy's upset. They got no warning, no alerts, telling Fox.
The fire started just behind my house, maybe a half a block away.
She had only minutes to leave and has nothing to go back to.
We lost everything. My house is flattened. There's nothing to go back to. I lost 2 vehicles, a moped.
Thousands of residents now in shelters. More than 10,000 tourists have left the island. More Republicans are signing the required party pledge to back whoever the nominee is to qualify for the first debate in 12 days. Tim Scott joins 4 others signing it. Former Vice President Mike Pence just told Fox Digital he'll also sign it the day after saying at the Iowa State Fair.
The former president asked me to choose him over my oath to the Constitution. I chose the Constitution, and I always will.
Defending not blocking President Biden's election certification the day of the Capitol riot, January 6th. The former president's been criminally charged for trying to stop that. And there's a hearing today as the special counsel asks the judge for a protective order to limit Trump comments about evidence and witnesses. He claims they're trying to silence him.
Next week, the attorneys representing former President Trump on charges of conspiring to overturn the 2020 election are expected to object to the government's proposal that the trial be held on January 2nd, less than 2 weeks before the Iowa caucuses. The former president objected to the idea in a post on Truth Social, saying the trial should only take place after the 2024 election, quote, if at all.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. We just got another inflation update showing prices on the wholesale level rose a bit more than expected last month, up 0.3%. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated. That used to be me. Then I got this. Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right? Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Learn more at alignprobiotics.com.
President Biden has signed a disaster declaration for wildfire-scarred Hawaii,
which will get aid into the hands of the people desperately needing help now.
The president said that while in Utah, touting a law expanding military benefits for troops exposed to toxic materials overseas.
In the years since the PACT Act became law, more than 348,000 veterans have had their claims approved for illnesses attributed to toxic exposure from combat zone burn pits.
When these troops came home, many of them the fittest and best trained warriors that we ever sent anywhere were exposed to these burn pits. They weren't the same.
President Biden marked the legislation's anniversary from a VA hospital in Salt Lake City.
Don't tell me we can't get things done when we work together. Democrats and Republicans work together to get that done.
The president has said he believes his eldest son, Bo's fatal brain cancer was caused by exposure to burn pits when he served overseas in the Delaware National Guard. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
There's a snag in Purdue Pharma's bankruptcy. The Supreme Court has put a hold on it for a review of a controversial plan to try to emerge from that being at the heart of the opioid crisis of drug overdoses and deaths.
They will hear arguments over this plan in December. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals already signed off on this deal, but DOJ says this bankruptcy agreement would not only shield the company that made the opioid OxyContin from future lawsuits, which is normal, it would also shield the Sackler family, which owns Purdue, from future lawsuits, which would not be typical. The Solicitor General wrote that this deal, if approved, would serve as a roadmap for wealthy individuals to misuse the bankruptcy system in the future and avoid liability. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down before the opening bell this hour. After that, a report showing worse than expected wholesale inflation that rose month over month and year over year. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. More than 47,000 Illinoisans lost Medicaid coverage last week after the pandemic-era extension ended. Federal government essentially froze the redetermination process of making sure you're eligible for Medicaid due to the pandemic, but since that extension ended, many left without it. Salvation Army of Champaign County, alongside more than 25 local employers, will host a community job fair and career expo at the Red Shield Center next Wednesday. Those who fall in hard times often do so as a result of employment challenges. The purpose of the fair, to minimize the current labor shortage and help job seekers connect with local employers. Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski attending Ag Day of the Illinois State Fair today to visit with family farmers and the organization supporting them. Budzinski's visit begins at the Ag Day breakfast, includes stops at the Butter Cow Sculpture, Animal Barns, the Commodities Pavilion, and the Ore Building. That's what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. It's ESPN 93.5. We like smart people. Greg Solier is a meteorologist extraordinaire, and he knows how to do this whole weather stuff. Meteorologist Greg Solier. What you say? I mean, we probably have enough rain for our farmer friends right now, I would think.
I would think so, but yeah, things are kind of looking a little rougher still back to the west-northwest of us with a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that affect out towards McLean County right now and Logan County and up around Tazewell County. Things are holding together here with some 63-mile-an-hour winds just outside of Bellevue. That's a little bit south and west of about Peoria at the current time, and some of that thunderstorm history does extend all the way back out towards Galesburg. So things are so far holding together. We'll keep an eye on it. Looks to be kind of the magic line about the I-72, I-74 corridor, somewhere in that range, heading in here over the next couple of hours. So keep an eye on that. Stuff is weakening up over the northern end of the state and strengthening a little bit in this band that's currently right along the Illinois River from Peoria down to about Beardstown. It's a buggy feel out there. That's helping to fuel some of this business right now. At 72 at Willett and Savoy, 69 at Rantoul. Those dew points are up and around the 68 to 70 mark. So a bit sticky out there. A muggy day's worth of weather, and a couple of folks will likely hear from Champaign on northward, especially see a shower thunderstorm here over the next couple of hours, and a pretty good downpour. We don't need any more water in areas especially west and south of Champaign and to the north as well, but we did pick up upwards of 2 to 4 inches on some of that weekend stuff, so keep an eye on ponding potential again. Another crack at a shower thunderstorm back in later on this afternoon and evening time. 85 the high, down to 68 buggy degrees tonight with a shower thunderstorm in spots this evening, and again late night tonight we should move into sun-filled day tomorrow mid to late morning with a high near 86, but humidity stays up until late tomorrow night and Sunday with a low down to 63. Increasing clouds on Sunday, and again another fast-moving system up aloft could generate a couple of thunderstorms or a shower late Sunday night into Monday. There's a risk for some downpours there and severe weather as well over parts of the Midwest. Up to 85 here on Sunday, 78 and cooler, drier environs on Monday with sun-filled upper 70 and lower 80-degree air mass and comfortable overnight lows as well for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Yeah, I mentioned did I mention there was a couple with their family stuck in Lahaina in a van, and it was they couldn't do anything. It was fire everywhere, and they had their cell phone, and it didn't work because the towers had been burned, so there was no possible connection. But there is a new feature. I did not know this, and we all probably ought to be aware of it. There's an emergency feature where the phone can, but if there's no signal, in the new iPhone 14 and above, I didn't know if there's anything. I've lost track of the number. I don't know what I got, 13, 12, 13. Right. The iPhone 14 and above, there is a way, if you can learn it, go to the settings, but it does not need towers. It uses satellite. So the satellite phones, Nathaniel's son, went to Patagonia about 5-10 years ago. And there's no towers. Patagonia, down Chile and all the South America, where you can really walk the terrain and forest.
And the jungles.
You're by yourself. Yeah. But I got him a satellite phone for the week. You can rent those. And if you have a satellite phone, he called us, and you just using satellite.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, on these iPhone 14s, there's a method, and this family had it, and they could actually call 911 with the satellite capability of the iPhone 14. And so they were rescued because they were able to use that feature. Did you know there was such a...
I did not.
News to me. But again, it's one thing having capabilities. Do you know what your phone can even do?
Right.
So there's all that. It just we are looking at pictures, and I've been fortunate enough to see Hawaii a number of times. I've been to Lahaina 4 times, I think I counted. And it's just, it is hard to, it's an idyllic, or was an idyllic setting. They lost buildings from the 1700s. Everything's built with wood. And it just ended very, very quickly with the wind and the way I have not heard definitively how those fires started, but it comes off of the hurricane force winds. Something sparked something, and the wind made it jump. And it didn't take long. People did not hear any warnings. It was that fast. I know a lot of animals were left in the house. It's just brutal to think of that, but it's also brutal to think 55 people dead and 1,000 people unaccounted for.
Right.
And it's going to take a little time to sort all that out and figure out where they went.
Right.
And it's, I played this essay. I'm going to play this again.
I saw smoke and I saw that it was dark. So I was like, okay, quickly, let's move. Let's pack. There were no alerts. There was no emergency sound.
This is going to take not just months, this is going to be years. I mean, there's 1,700 structures at least that have been just completely decimated. And so that's going to take a huge effort, both nationally and locally here in Hawaii.
It's just a heartbreaking situation for so many residents here. People not knowing the fate of their family members, their loved ones. Communication systems are down on the west side of the island. 911 isn't operable. Cell service isn't possible. Right now, we're standing at a roadblock on the road to Lahaina. This is one of the hardest hit areas. Right now, residents aren't being let in, and they won't be let in for the foreseeable future. And evacuations are still ongoing. People being bussed out of the fire zone. This as the death toll from these fires continues to rise.
Just imagine, though, well, they'll just rebuild. And think about that now, logistically. They're on an island. How do you get there?
Yeah.
Well, you got to ship it in. Comes on a massive ship. It unloads in Waialea. Then they got to get trucks. There's going to be a road to come in and out. There's 1,700 buildings that she talked about. So it's going to take years and years and years. And you can take a right into Lahaina, but then you got to get some sort of a tender, a smaller boat full of wood and all the supplies. It's just going to take a long time. And it's really, really a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Really a shame. All right, ESPN 93.5. It's 8:13. Let's jump into our morning sports.
All right. We did have the Cardinals win 5-2 over Tampa Bay. And let's hear your Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals are in Kansas City, where Adam Wainwright will face the Royals tonight at 7:10. But last night, the Cardinals got an unbelievable start from Matthew Liberatore. He went 8 innings, picked up the victory against the team that drafted him and traded him to the Cardinals. 5-2 was the final.
He picked up his second victory, and he set career highs with strikeouts. He had 7, innings pitched with 8, really in command throughout. Started landing the curveball, showed a good slider, changeup, fastball had a little extra zip to it. So Liberatore did great. Cardinals got home runs from Edman and from Andrew Kisner, and a really pretty special play from Nolan Arenado, scoring from first base on a single.
That was a hit by Alec Burleson. A 5-2 victory last night. Now Adam Wainwright goes tonight.
I'm looking forward to watching Adam pitch again. You know, he's still bound and determined to get things right. We're pulling for Adam.
The Cardinals and the Royals, game 1 of a brief 2-game series, on the air at 6:15 tonight. Ricky has the lineups at 7. I'll bring you the first pitch at 7:10.
Does anybody remember, I mean really, ever, 217-359-2255, does anybody ever remember a baseball team having an off day on Sunday? Cardinals do not play Sunday. And I can't remember in my life the Cubs or Cardinals not playing on a Sunday.
Okay.
Interesting. Anyway, they're off Sunday. They play the Kansas City Royals tonight and tomorrow. I'm pulling. I can't tell you how much I'm pulling. He's a great guy. Mm-hmm. He is a really, really solid Christian. He's helping so many people with fundraising.
We just thought he was going to retire. Well, it was going to be the big yachty, Wayno,
listen, just want him to pitch well. He's got, 8-10 more starts he's done. His career is over. Can he get 2 wins to get to 200 for his career? Big one tonight for that. Kansas City's not your stronger team. Neither are the Oakland A's, but I think Wayno will get a start and probably miss the Oakland series. Anyway, go Adam Wainwright. See if he can finish strong. See if he can get a couple more wins.
So we had the Cubs at Toronto with a 6:07 start over on US 105.9. Both Chicago teams the day off yesterday, and there's a series starting up against the Milwaukee Brewers at 7 o'clock. That would be a tough one for me to know who to root for. I guess whoever bought me the free tickets, I'd root for that team.
Yeah.
But I do like Milwaukee, especially since my daughter Gabrielle's been up there a few years.
You've been up to that stadium many times.
Mm-hmm. So, love it. Houston over Texas yesterday in NFL preseason action. We're starting to talk about that. And Seattle beat Minnesota. The Packers are taking on Cincinnati tonight. 4 more Iowa State football players, 3 more members of the Iowa football program have been charged in the state's investigation against sports wagering, alleging several athletes placed bets on games in which they played.
Ooh, man.
So it is starting to get more in the weeds on what's happening when it comes to our athletes and placing some bets. And it's hard to get away from it with the digital imprint that you have when you do that sort of thing.
The whole geofencing where they can now know who's calling and where you are.
Absolutely.
And if you're in the football facility and you make a bet, they can tell.
Yeah.
I'm sure at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, they are all over this topic.
Right.
And they're telling every student athlete, even though I put that in quotes now because it's kind of professional now for some, not for very many, but there's some getting pretty good money. Anyway, they're telling them, guys, you can't do this.
Yes.
Otherwise, not only are you off your sports program, your whole career is over.
Yeah.
But you're probably in trouble with the law.
Well, this topic, and of course with Northwestern and the hazing and things like that, the college sports, especially at Illinois, on it and talking about how everybody needs to be better on their communication, and if there's any issues, let's talk about it, and just addressing all of this before there's any concern.
Well, and then it obviously that whole character thing, and you always want the best athlete with the best character, but sometimes schools forego the character part if they're a super athlete. Sometimes you excuse stuff like that, bad behavior, bad person, because they're so good, By the way, I heard Gabe Akis the other day. He was on with Lon and Jeremy from a press conference. And this is number 17. It reminds me so much of the young Simeon Rice. Simeon Rice was I remember Lou Tepper saying you can't really chart him. They try and chart players and their movements and play because he's all over the field.
Yeah.
This Gabe Akis, Lon thought it'll be a first-round draft choice one day.
Nice.
But he's that kind of athlete. And he's going to be fun to watch. Don't forget, not only do we have the law firm, talked a lot about the law firm.
Exactly.
But this Gabe Akis is a guy to walk in. It doesn't look like Akis. It's J-A-C. Anyway, it's pronounced Akis. But
okay, thank you.
Number 17. I remember Simeon Rice was 18 years old walking through the mall, and I told somebody I'd buy his football card right now. And he went on to have a darn good career and won the Super Bowl title with Tampa Bay and everything else. But that kind of remembering from a guy like Gabe Akis. So we're looking forward to seeing him fly around. And
speaking of flying around, our Illinois basketball team in Spain. So they'll wrap up that series with the Barcelona All-Stars on Sunday.
Yep, that probably is the best team they're playing. So we'll see how our guys do. And, of course, we're getting box scores and reports. We love our football, and we're resurgent. We're really excited about Brett Bielema. But we've been kind of basketball focused for a long time. I'm hoping Brett kind of shares the stage with basketball tradition and turns us into a bowl team every year. That would be pretty awesome. All right, 217-359-2255. You want to jump on and text in about anything we've talked about. I got a little mini report about what happens when you put solar on your roof.
Okay.
Stand by.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. And the next weather system, it'll be a parade of features in on an increasing west-northwest flow up aloft, generating a couple of showers and thunderstorms to the northwest and west of us. One or two may catch us as the day wears on today and in through this evening. We'll do it again over the back end of the weekend, early next week, with another feature due in late next week as well. All the while, kind of a downward trend on temperatures, a bit below average, anticipated around here for next week, but a little more humidity in the air for the short term of the next couple of days. Up to 85, and again, a shower thunderstorm risk late this morning and into this afternoon. That'll linger both early and late night tonight. Muggy lows down to about 68. Tomorrow, an isolated shower chance early, mostly sunny in the morning and humid afternoon at 86. Another shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday, the high up to 85. Could be a stray shower, but a cooler 78-degree reading on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, comfortable with highs near 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's no sign of improvement in inflation in the Producer Price Index for July. Prices at the wholesale level. The PPI rose 0.3% last month. For the year ending in July, the increase 0.8%. Core PPI, excluding food and energy, rose 0.3%, and for the year ending in July, core PPI was up 2.4%. All the numbers reflect higher than expected inflation before things reach consumers. Banking giant UBS says it no longer needs $10 billion in support from the Swiss government. It's an encouraging sign that the situation has stabilized. Two operators of self-driving cars, Cruise and Waymo, have received the okay from California regulators to operate 24/7 in San Francisco and to charge for the rides. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less. Racing, racing, racing! Farmer City Raceway is your local award-winning dirt track with exciting Friday night lights illuminating the late models and modifieds going for the checkered flag for the win. Make arrangements to get in on the camping with great price points for pit passes and young fans, as well as veterans. Friday nights, the hot laps start at 6:30, then qualifying and racing action. Don't miss out on the fun at Farmer City Raceway. For details, visit farmercityracing.com. You'll buy the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company is looking for drivers with their CDL and great driving record to join their team. What a terrific company, invested in so many charities in our community and giving their staff opportunities for growth, health and dental insurance, paid time off for vacations, holidays, and family leave. This is the type of environment you've been looking for, drivers. Of course, Pepsi is an equal opportunity employer as they search for a good representative of the company to help with deliveries. Learn more online at PepsiColaCU.com.
Yeah, we have a lot of notable people in this community. We have a lot of names that are known worldwide that emanate out of Champaign-Urbana. But everybody in Champaign-Urbana knows him by one name, Sam. Sam?
Oh, he's busy.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Sam.
Okay.
I'm quite sure Brett Underwood would have hired you right after he moved to town 6 years ago because he stayed at the I Hotel for a while. Sam is the man. He is the probably the most incredible employee / worker in the history of mankind. He is always making sure everything's good at Hula Hands and iHotel. Is it the 15th anniversary of Hula Hands, Sam?
That is correct. We've been here for 15 years, and I've been here from day one. And today we want to thank the entire community, the university, yourself, and all our staff, and everyone who's been here and supported us to be here. And I thank you again for everything you have done also.
Well, we love you, and we love Sam, we love iHotel, we love Hula Hands. So are you offering a special today at Hula Hands?
It's 15% off on when you order an entree or dinner for lunch or dinner. It'll be 15% off your check.
Awesome. Very
Tell
nice.
your server happy anniversary.
Say happy anniversary to your server, right? Just tell them happy anniversary. Yep.
It's being 15 years, so you'll get 15. So maybe we make it for 100 years, you get 100% off.
Well, okay,
that would be
then.
real. I'm not sure I'm going to be here, but that's a great idea.
I mean, Sam might be.
Sam might be.
Yes.
Sam might make that. So.
All right. Thanks.
Hey, listen, keep up your great work. You're one of the great people we know in Champaign-Urbana, the great Sam.
Thank you again.
All right, talk soon, Sam. Thank you. He's just how do I explain
knows how
Sam?
to do it all and will do it all.
He just does things above and beyond.
Yeah.
He'll just do anything to make it.
And knows you by name.
Oh, he knows everybody. Who doesn't know Sam? Right. If I see a show of hands, if you don't know him, you've heard of him, right? Sam. At the iHotel.
I go through that revolving door. It's just such a beautiful lobby. And if you have a pet or anybody in the area, I just love the Willie dog bowl that they have there at the iHotel.
I don't know if Willie's still with us.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a tribute to
it
Peter
is.
Fox's
Willie was
dog.
Peter Fox's.
Man, well behaved,
yeah,
too.
Peter and Kim Fox do such a great job, but it's the rooms are so well appointed. Anyway, we love iHotel and Hula Hands. 15 years
anniversary.
15% off your food. Today at the iHotel, but Sam's the kind of guy that started whatever position, and then he parked cars, and like for football games, and put the vest on, and then ultimately got to run the show. And he is just always there. Just a remarkable guy, and I really like Sam. All right, it's 8:27. 217-359-2255. Text us
typically we talk about things that are happening in the community, and this weekend St. Joe has their festival. They'll have the 3:00 parade tomorrow and all kinds of entertainment. I like the idea that they're having a mutt show. They have a prince and princess contest. It's a great time for the community. The Prairie Crossroads Blues Fest is this weekend. You also might want to check out the Perseid meteor shower. I wanted to ask Greg about the viewing on that on Saturday night. My brother Gary and I always text each other on anything that's happening in the night sky, but they're having a special viewing at Middle Fork Forest Preserve. A lot of times these darker areas are great places to check out, like a meteor shower.
Gotta get out of town. Otherwise you don't see them with all the lights.
And of course we talked about the Super Mario Brothers, and the first 300 guests get a free popcorn bucket as they come to Memorial Stadium. 5:30 to 6:30 is when you can get some autographs from some of our fall athletes, and then the movie's at 7 tomorrow night.
Okay, we will be back. News, weather, sports all coming in our final half hour. Glad you're listening. This is Friday, August 11. We've mentioned a few times we are 3 weeks from tomorrow. We're playing football. First one's Toledo on Labor Day weekend. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We are ready to roll for our fall football campaign. Can't wait. All right, 8:28.
Join the Urbana Park District for the 25th anniversary of the Wandale Sculpture Garden on September 15th at Meadowbrook Park. The fun starts at 3:30 with refreshments, followed by the rededication ceremony. At 5 o'clock, there's a walk through the sculpture garden. Listen to great jazz music at various stations along the way. The Wandale Sculpture Garden, a local jewel in public art. September 15th in Meadowbrook Park. Visit urbanaparks.org. Crossroads Contractor Supply, bringing us our Stevie Jay Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month.
We just celebrate police because they ought to be celebrated, folks. Difference between anarchy and peace. We have Officer Chloe Folks. She is our Law Enforcement Official of the Month. She's at the Urbana Police Department. How do you stay positive when you see the bad guys all the time?
My coworkers, the family, the camaraderie we have, we're all there for each other. Our goal is to make sure everybody gets home safely at the end of of the night or the day. It's really just the family atmosphere that keeps me going.
So if you see something not so good, you're able to say, shut it off.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of emotional detachment and separate work from home. It's hard sometimes. We have through EAP and different work things that we can have help us kind of through that. But like I said, it's really my coworkers that get me through it. And, we maintain a positive attitude just so we can help each other get home at the end of the day. And sometimes we face hard things, but we get through it.
Crossroads Contractor Supply, delivering within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana, supporting our law enforcement official of the month.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
Does your home have those annoying outdoor spigots that leak and have no pressure? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing can help. Install a new Woodford outdoor spigot so your gardens and flowers don't suffer in this summer heat. Make sure your home's outdoors look great and call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. Survival and trauma in Hawaii. 1,000 people unaccounted for in the Maui wildfire. With cell towers and power out, the town of Lahaina and hundreds of homes destroyed.
When the mayor said it's all gone, it's all gone. It's all gone. It's gone.
The police chief there, 55 known dead. Local Amanda Cassidy and her boyfriend got out.
We were right next to it. I think we spent maybe 5 to 7 minutes packing.
Lost everything else. Amanda escaped Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans 20 years ago. Donald Trump's legal team faces off with the DOJ today in federal court on what he can say about his federal trial for election interference. At the Iowa State Fair, Mike Pence says he'll take the pledge. Presidential candidate Pence tells Fox he'll sign the GOP loyalty pledge to support the party nominee. What if it's Trump? Pence says he's confident voters will choose new leadership. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. I'm Joe Miller. This year's Illinois State Fair kicking off today. It runs through August 20th in Springfield. Performers including Alanis Morissette, REO Speedwagon, Alter Bridge, Tim McGraw, Maren Morris, and Nelly with Ashanti and J. Rule. Officials unveiled the treasured butter cow in the dairy building on the fairgrounds. Illinois Department of Public Health providing a variety of free health and safety services for school-age kids during this year's Illinois State Fair. Includes immunizations, physicals, and dental exams. The IDPH will also give away gun locks as part of its ongoing partnership with the Illinois State Police to promote firearm safety in the state. Salvation Army of Champaign County, alongside more than 25 local employers, hosting a community job fair and expo at the Red Shield Center next Wednesday. Those who fall on hard times often do as a result of employment challenges. The purpose of the fair to minimize the current labor shortage, help job seekers connect with local employers. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Joe Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and vicinity. A couple of patches of fog around, and, well, there's more rain on the radar sweep this morning out over the northwestern and western reaches of the state, but much smaller in scale. The first in a series of fast-moving systems about every 36 hours. It'll generate some cooling ahead and some lowering of humidity values over the back end of the weekend, and particularly into the first half of next week. It'll be a nice feel, but a closer, muggier feel both today, tonight, and tomorrow, up to 85. The rain chance later this morning and this afternoon, at about 30%. Most of the action from Champaign northward, if that. A shower thunderstorm chance early and late night tonight. Slightly better odds. A muggy load at a 68. Tomorrow could be a shower threat early in the day. Mostly sunny, humid with a high to about 86. Increasing clouds, 85. A shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday into Monday with a high near 78 there. Mid to upper 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. Lower 80s next Thursday and Friday. A very comfortable weather pattern due in for next week. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Curtis Orchard. Randy explains.
So this is the time of year that we're looking for enthusiastic, energetic employees for our family business to greet our guests. It's an important position anytime you're an employee at our business because you represent our family to the public. So we want friendly, enthusiastic people who have the same values that we have, which is caring for people and giving them a great experience while they're out at the farm. You can visit curtisorchard.com and apply online today.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced tow professionals, is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tapmanstowing.com.
It'd be good to get together with people again when you're moving around. You just go, just the awful time we had during COVID. It's just so nice to... you still look back at it and still try and shake it off. It was just rough.
In fact, I heard a statistic since we're kind of in that back to school mode, about 20% still not coming to school as far as our nation average. What's happening to those kids?
Well, is it fear of COVID or they don't like the curriculum? There's a lot of people that aren't doing it.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that have pulled out of our public schools in Champaign-Urbana. Because they're unhappy with what they're teaching and the way they're teaching it, and that's your prerogative to disagree. And again, they've called people that have been a little raucous at school board meetings domestic terrorists. So it's you're going against the grain from the standpoint of public policy, I guess.
And I know more people that are doing homeschooling.
Well, that's when they pull them out, they do homeschooling. That's right. Yeah. They're not necessarily going anywhere else. They're just going to do it themselves. And homeschool used to be, that's really interesting. It used to be really on the outside looking in, but now homeschool is very mainstream. Very mainstream.
Right. This one says 8 million U.S. students considered chronically absent.
They're just not going.
They're just not going.
I don't know what happens to them. I don't know what is the long-term ramification of Champaign-Urbana schools that we're having kids not logging on. And then they're behind, but they go from 7th to 8th grade anyway.
Yep.
And they didn't learn 7th grade.
It's kick the can down the road.
Well, and you have textbooks, and they don't know how to do what's because they missed 7th grade. And so, if you don't have enormous parental help, I don't know how they ever catch up. Then they're bad behavior because they can't understand anything because they're flunking.
Right.
Because they didn't get the COVID year or years.
They said during the pandemic, 15% of the students missed school. 20% last year. These are national averages. All in told, estimated 6.5 million additional students became chronically absent, according to Stanford University education professor.
What does that mean? The parents let them stay home, and they don't know they're not.
This is on my radar with someone in my circle that, and you don't know what to do as someone who's concerned about the kid.
I think the child has to.
If I step up and say, hey, you need to enroll your kid, this was totally missing enrollment. Oh, school has started, like the parent was just not paying attention? I don't know. There was mental illness.
What happens there? Didn't you used to have truant officers at the school? If you're enrolled at a school, I think you have to go. I think you aren't, don't you?
And do they check on that?
You're supposed to go to school.
I don't want the kid yanked from the home because they're all...
I'm telling you, I don't know what do you do? I am out of the loop. I just know that if you are enrolled at Centennial and never come, and you can never reach anybody at home, what is the policy? What is the procedure?
Chronically absent is missing 18 days or more every year.
A year? I thought you were going to say a month, which is about every day. So I don't know what the procedure is.
Disengaged from school.
If you have
when they have counseling, meals, socialization, it's more than the grade card, obviously.
Yeah. Well, we're falling apart in some of our areas for sure. In school, if you don't have, I never thought school worked anyway if you didn't have an active parent or parents, and then an active teacher or teachers, and then an active student. It's a three-legged stool to me.
Right.
I don't think it can work with two, and certainly not one. A teacher is just overburdened with being a psychologist, being a counselor, being a watchdog, being a police officer. The teacher today is doing far, far more than they ought to do.
Absolutely.
And so the parents are, I just would put a whole lot of bad stuff on the parents. I mean,
I know.
Starts at home.
But again, what do you do? And if the kid is yanked, I don't know about the children and family services these days, and the placement in homes. And I heard I overheard a conversation in a big box store about, I could get $200 more a month if I have another foster kid. And it's like, oh wow, you're really looking at the bottom line?
Yeah, I'm afraid they are, and that is the wrong reason to do that.
Absolutely.
Well, when we were in fertility. And we'd be in Chicago, and the nurses would tell us that the young ladies said, I can't just have 2, I got to have 5 to get the free stuff. They had no idea what you're doing.
Right.
No idea what you're doing. Because, unfortunately, it's a 50-50 chance somebody's not going to be healthy if you're a triplet. And then if you get to 4 and 5, it's even riskier, if we're talking health for the kids. But then you see quintuplets on Oprah, what the old shows that used to show.
Oh, yeah. The Octomom.
Yeah, and they're all healthy, and everybody's unbelievable. And, I want that. Mm-hmm. You have no idea. And so it's, we get into all that, and then the government gives people money to have babies. What are we fostering here? What message are we sending?
I know.
But if you're talking about $200 more a month for a child, and they think that's a lot of money, for the time and care that you ought to be putting in for each child? No, I'm sure. That's why talk radio exists, with plenty of issues to talk about every
morning therapy right here on the show.
Single day.
And you can always share at steviejay.com. And I've had people come up to me recently. I mean, that was a big funeral yesterday, and people were talking about our show, Stevie, and grateful for some of these topics. And go to steviejay.com to hear the podcast back and share.
In the day, you'd have a number of radio shows that would be addressing difficult issues.
Not now.
There's nobody.
I mean, why go to bat on these big issues? Because you could risk getting censored. You could risk people turning away and not listening to you anymore.
Canceling, all the canceling going on. Yeah, so you rather hush. But to get out of all this, unfortunately, we're going to need more action. And that means speaking up and doing it peacefully and doing all your stuff that you're supposed to do as a law-abiding citizen. But you've got to be able to say, this is wrong, this is right. There is no fuzzy line on good and evil. Mm-hmm. There's a line there that says, gosh, that seems really bad to go loot a store. I mean, looting, they're closing stores all over America because, we're allowing people to come in and steal, which is a commandment, thou shalt not steal. And then they're telling the workers, let them do it.
Right. Thou shalt not steal under a certain number amount, otherwise we look away.
No, it's beyond common sense. That's what we've lost, and we haven't lost that. It is the culture that's trying to help us forget that, but we haven't. The core of America is still the core of America. We're pretty fair people. We're pretty understanding people. We're certainly the most generous nation. We're empathetic. We care for people. We love people. There are a small number of people that are pulling the levers right now that are not representing the masses. And that's where the frustration is. And that's where you got to ensure that you got a very transparent election and that you feel comfortable with the results no matter what. If you feel it's fair, good. I'm all in. But when you have questions about the validity of it, then there's a problem. And then you're just some sort of conspiracy guy, all of that. The name calling and the forced advocacy of whatever position you have. It's no longer good enough to be quiet, no longer good enough to just accept it. Now you have to endorse it and say, yes, I agree with you, or you're a bad person. And that's not what we do here. We have very invigorating debates and used to be very peaceful. But it's certainly been weird in the last 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah,
been pretty bad.
That's right.
All right, 8:43. Check one more sports and weather coming up.
Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company is looking for drivers with their CDL and great driving record to join their team. What a terrific company, invested in so many charities in our community and giving their staff opportunities for growth, health and dental insurance, paid time off for vacations, holidays, and family leave. This is the type of environment you've been looking for, drivers. Of course, Pepsi is an equal opportunity employer as they search for a good representative of the company to help with deliveries. Learn more online at PepsiColaCU.com.
So I have a friend who got some solar.
Okay.
And How many solar people have come to your house?
Right. And even in Tolono, we've had a couple. And I actually was visiting with my backyard neighbor about, how could we share all the panels? And we have this common garden area that back in the day that we used to all kind of, the neighborhood, celebrated these changes. But he was like, the panels cost yada, yada, yada.
And you get all these credits and you do this and you do that. If you spend 70, the net probably going to be 28. All right, so friend said just got our first electric bill after our first full month of solar. Electric portion, $10.57. We saved $320. Total bill, gas and electric, $42.59. I've not had power bills this low since the 70s. Well, there's that.
Yes. But how often do you have to change them out? Where are we getting these products from? Are they made in America?
I think they stay for a long time. I think
I thought it was
solar
20
panels. Well, that's a pretty long time.
I thought it was longer than that. I don't know. Whatever.
But most of it's installation.
But that is a good savings.
Well, I mean, if you extrapolate that out,
right.
It's $3,200 a year.
Right.
So in 8 or 9 years, you're all paid up, and you're green, which is politically correct. So okay. Quick check of our morning sports. 8:45, ESPN 93.5. I am Stevie J. Diane Ducey with Sports Headline.
Cardinals win 5-2 over Tampa Bay. We're gearing up for a series at Kansas City. Let's hear more with the Redbird recap.
With Ricky Horton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals are in Kansas City, where Adam Wainwright will face the Royals tonight at 7:10. But last night, the Cardinals got an unbelievable start from Matthew Liberatore. He went 8 innings, picked up the victory against the team that drafted him and traded him to the Cardinals. 5-2 was the final.
He picked up his second victory, and he set career highs with strikeouts. He had 7, innings pitched with 8, really in command throughout. Started landing the curveball, showed a good slider, changeup. Fastball had a little extra zip to it, so Liberatore did great. Cardinals got home runs from Edman and from Andrew Kisner, and a really pretty special play from Nolan Arenado, scoring from first base on a single.
That was a hit by Alec Burleson. A 5-2 victory last night. Now Adam Wainwright goes tonight.
I'm looking forward to watching Adam pitch again. He's still bound and determined to get things right. We're pulling for Adam.
The Cardinals and the Royals, game 1 of a brief 2-game series, on the air at 6:15 tonight. Ricky has the lineups at 7. I'll bring you the first pitch at 7:10.
The Cubs take on Toronto with a 6:07 start over on US 105.9. Milwaukee and the Chicago White Sox at 7 o'clock tonight. And we have Illinois basketball that we're rooting for. They are in Spain and taking on the Barcelona All-Stars on Sunday.
Okay, 8:46. Greg's weather for your weekend here coming up.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
25-year warranty on your solar panels.
Okay.
10-year on labor. Many companies do make panels in the U.S. He did Route 66 solar and was very, very happy. Autumn, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Autumn Trujillo, you got a big event coming up, Apostolic Life Church. Tell me what's going on. Tomorrow, is it?
Yes, tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Ambuck Park, we're going to have a free community day. We're going to have...
Go ahead.
We're going to have free food, bounce houses, things for the whole family.
And why? What are you raising money for, Autumn?
We're not raising money for anything. We're just trying to give back to our community.
That's nice. Very nice.
And then on Sunday, we're going to have a Super Sunday at our church and a candy rain for the kids.
Candy
Who doesn't
rain.
like candy?
What?
Oh,
like you just passing it out, or is it falling from the sky, or what?
It's falling from the ceiling. It's like falling down, and it's a huge candy rain.
Well, what's wrong with that? That sounds fun.
Right.
Autumn Trujillo, how's Joey?
He's amazing.
He, of course, went through the treatment and got cured of his
Lifeline
addiction.
Connect.
Faith Foundation, all kinds of wonderful things going on, and everything's going well?
Yes, things are going very well. We're doing great. Our kids are doing great.
Awesome.
Everything is just falling into place.
Well,
so Apostolic Life Church, where is it? It's down by Apple Dumpling, I think, right?
Yeah, but the event is at Ambuck Park.
Okay, that's tomorrow, 11 to 5?
11 to 2.
11 to 2.
Free food. Yes, free food, free games, bounce houses.
What the heck?
Wonderful.
So go to Ambucks Park and just celebrate with Autumn Trujillo and all our friends. Big community event with Apostolic Life Church. And Sunday again at the church, the whole candy from the ceiling thing. Hey, Autumn, thank you. I hope it goes wonderfully well.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well. ESPN 93.5.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Here's what one shopper said about Pard's Western Shop in Urbana, 306 North Maple, between Maine and University. He said, sure, you can find boots at some big box stores, but nothing like Pard's selections. They're unique, they're local, and they have an excellent store. So many people that visit Pard's in Urbana say the same thing. Pard's in Urbana, 306 North Maple. You can find the best boots in the world and shop local. Visit pards.com, pards.com.
Urbana's Market at the Square has been cultivating a vibrant scene in CU since 1979. Get to know your farmers bringing locally harvested honey, crafts, jewelry, art, fresh cut flowers, plus produce including fresh leafy greens and root vegetables, fresh baked treats, and a wide selection of proteins. Going on now, every Saturday, 7 a.m. till noon, rain or shine at Illinois and Vine, it's Urbana Market at the Square. Find Urbana Market on Facebook or urbanamarket.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and this Saturday. And the next weather system, it'll be a parade of features in on an increasing west-northwest flow up aloft, generating a couple of showers and thunderstorms to the northwest and west of us. One or two may catch us as the day wears on today and in through this evening. We'll do it again over the back end of the weekend, early next week, with another feature due in late next week as well. All the while, kind of a downward trend on temperatures, a bit below average, anticipated around here for next week, but a little more humidity in the air for the short term of the next couple of days. Up to 85, and again, a shower thunderstorm risk late this morning and into this afternoon. That'll linger both early and late night tonight. Muggy lows down to about 68. Tomorrow, an isolated shower chance early, mostly sunny in the morning and humid afternoon at 86. Another shower thunderstorm chance late Sunday, the high up to 85. Could be a stray shower, but a cooler 78-degree reading on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, comfortable with highs near 80 degrees. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Yeah, okay, so State Fair time, friends.
Yes, and Old Dominion's on stage tonight, and the tickets are selling fast. It also looks like and I was just checking the ticket prices out for the Doobie Brothers coming up this weekend, and it looks like between $70 and $150 for those.
Wow.
So, but I know they know that the concert goers for something like the Doobie Brothers aren't going to see concerts every day. So why not charge a little more to head to Springfield and see them at the Grandstand?
Don't you have interesting smells wafting?
That's true too. Old Dominion tonight, Doobie Brothers tomorrow, Alanis Morissette will be on Sunday night. I've seen her in concert. That was awesome.
Well, they got a good lineup.
Tuesday's REO Speedwagon.
A lot of good people coming.
Excellent. Queuing up some Doobies for us.
Yeah, Doobie Brothers. We don't have any idea if it's any original people.
Right.
But they are called the Doobie Brothers. I wonder if they have an auction somewhere where you can buy the names of these rock and roll groups and have the rights.
Right.
Have it. All right, well, we're out of time. Back Monday, God willing, and do it again next week from 7 to 9, Monday through Friday.
Love it.
Diane Ducey.
Such a fun job, Stevie.
Well, it is fun being with you. We appreciate you.
Enjoy your weekend.
Diane Ducey, I'm Stevie J. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back on Monday. Have a blessed weekend.
Country music superstars are taking the Illinois Lottery Grandstand stage at this year's Illinois State Fair. Kicking it all off is record-breaking award winners Old Dominion on Friday night, August 11th, with special guest Alexandra Kay.
I don't want to be a one-man band.
Megastar Tim McGraw hits the stage on Thursday night, August 17th, with special guest Landon Parker.
Always stay humble and kind.
And Grammy winner Maren Morris will bring hit after hit on Saturday night, August 19th. Tickets are on sale now 24/7 at Ticketmaster.com, the Ticketmaster app, or at the Grandstand ticket office during regular business hours. And don't forget to add your pre-show party tickets for only $30. Party before the show and be the first ones into the Grandstand. Act now. Don't miss these country powerhouses at the 2023 Illinois State Fair, August 10th through the 20th.
Hi, I'm Steve with Restoration Urban Ministries, and we have a desperate need. We have a building that's coming down, and we have to put up another one. But we have you, and we have God on our side. So August the 12th, we are going to have at Hessel Park in Champaign, family, food, and fun. We're going to have 5 to 10 different church bands playing. We're going to have speakers. We're going to have testimonies. We're going to have food. We're going to have sausages and barbecue and corn on the cob, all kinds of summertime treats. And we're going to have a lot of fun going on. We have different games for the kids. So we're counting on you to come and join us and participate and help us raise money for a new building in Jesus' name. You can come and visit us at www.restorationurbanministries.org. Family, food, and fun at Hessel Park, August the 12th. We'll see you there.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design, and right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you.
You can't touch this.
No, not that kind of wrapper.
You can't touch this.
Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
When you're looking for a business to work with, you choose someone local, someone who's terrific at what they do. A company that helps others in need in Champaign-Urbana, and a company that stands behind what they do. That company is Roof Doctors. Roof Doctors has been keeping the rain out for over 30 years. Randy and Tammy and their family work hard to not only make sure you're 100% satisfied by their work, but that they also strive to have a positive impact on Champaign-Urbana. Roof Doctors in Urbana, they make you their #1 priority.
Join the Champaign Parks Foundation for a fun evening of food, socializing, and entertainment at the iHotel and Conference Center with Champaign Park District's Youth Scholarship Fund to benefit from the new Ties and Tennies Gala. It's coming up on Thursday, September 14th, and you'll enjoy dueling pianos, a plated dinner, complimentary wine and beer, live and silent auction, and featured speaker Team USA Paralympian sitting volleyball player Nicole Millage. Learn more details. Visit champaignparks.org.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.